Hello everyone, welcome to the session on compilers. In this session, we'll be discussing about optimizing the deterministic finite automata. In this session, we will see what is the need of optimization of DFA. We will see the appropriate algorithm for reducing the number of the states of the DFA. And also we will see one example how the DFA can be optimized. Finally, we will see how to write a C program for the optimized DFA. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel Learn with Prakash Khanade, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session how to optimize the given deterministic finite automata. Now we know that whenever we have a token, then the structure of the token can be described by a regular expression. And whenever we want to implement the regular expression, then it is necessary to convert the regular expression into finite automata. So initially, the regular expression is converted into NFA, and then it is converted into DFA. Already, we have seen the two algorithms regarding how to convert a regular expression into NFA and how NFA can be converted into DFA. But once you obtain the DFA, then it is possible that the number of the states of the DFA can be reduced. That is, it is possible to optimize the DFA. So every DFA has a unique smallest equivalent DFA, and therefore it is necessary to optimize the DFA. DFA can be optimized by using the transition table of the DFA. So once you have a look into the transition table of the DFA, and if you partition this transition table appropriately, then it is possible that you can optimize the given DFA. For example, we will consider the regular expression closure of A or B into ABB. Now we know that the DFA that we have obtained for this regular expression is like this, where it will consist of the states A, B, C, T, and E. That is, there are 5 states in this DFA. But it is possible that you can reduce one state from this DFA by using the algorithm called as optimization of DFA. So even if you are able to reduce the one state of the DFA, it means that the coding efforts are reduced for the DFA. So now let us go for how to optimize the DFA. The algorithm that is being used for the optimization of the DFA is being called as a partitioning algorithm. So initially at the input, we will have a DFA D, and at the output, we will get a DFA D dash, where the language denoted by the DFA D is the same as the language denoted by the DFA D dash. And the only thing is that the DFA D dash will consist of less number of states than that of the DFA D. So let us go how to make the partition of the given DFAD. We know that any DFAD will consist of some set of states. So initially we will start with the initial partition pi of the states of the DFAD in such a way that we will separate the final state of the DFA from the rest of the states. So we will have the partition pi, which will consist of a final state and non-final states, that is S minus F states. That is, we will be having accepting state and non-accepting states of the DFA. Now, once we partition this, then we can construct a new partition, and this partition is being called as a pi new. And in order to construct this pi new, initially we will assume pi new is equal to pi. Then we know that the partition will have the groups. Now for the each group of the partition pi, we will divide it into subgroups such that the two states S and T are in the same subgroup if and only if for all the input symbol A, the state S and T will have the transition on A to the states in the same group of pi. That is, whenever we have been given a group, then we will see that how many states will have a transition to the different states from the states of the group on certain input symbol. And if we find that they have a transition to the other states, then it is possible that we can divide this group into further subgroups. And now whenever we have the different subgroups, then we will replace the G in the PyNew by the state of all the subgroups that are formed. Now we will check the new partition that we have been created is equal to the old partition or not. If it is equal to the old partition, then we will stop the case, that we will go to the next step. But if it is not, then again we will repeat the step in order to have many more new partitions. So the process of partitioning will go on unless and until the new partition becomes equal to that of the old partition. Now we have a partition, and now the partition will consist of different groups. And now what we will do, that we will select one state from each group of PyFinal as the representative state. And now these will be the states of the DFA D dash. Now the start of the DFA D dash, the start state of the DFA D dash is the representative of the group containing the start state of the DFA D. So whatever is the start state of the DFA D, if it is there in some state of the DFA D dash, then that state can be called as the start state of the DFA D dash. Similarly, the accepting state of the DFA D dash is the representative of the group containing the accepting state of the DFA D. So if there is any accepting state of the DFA D, and if it is there in some of the states of the DFA D dash, then that state of the DFA D dash will become the accepting state for the DFA D dash. Now, in order to have a proper understanding of this algorithm, we will see one example how the DFA can be optimized. Suppose we have been given a regular expression, closure of A or B followed by ABB. Now we know that the DFA for this will consist of 5 states A, B, C, D, and E. So this is a transition diagram which will represent this regular expression, closure of A or B into ABB. Now what we will do is that we will partition this DFA. So initially we will create a partition pi where we will have a final state as in separate group and the rest of the state in separate group. Now from this diagram, one can easily observe that the state E is the final state, and therefore we will make a separate group for the state E, and the rest of the states A, B, C, and D are in another group. Now we will create the new partition. Now we will check, see, as far as this state E is concerned, since there is only one state, one can easily observe that there is no further partitioning possible. But for this group, A, B, C, D, we will see whether there is any further partitioning possible. That is, we will see that from the state A, on the input symbol small a, there is a transition to the state B. Also, from the state B, on the input symbol A, there is transition to the state B. From the state C, on the input symbol A, there is a transition to the state B. From the state D, on the input symbol A, there is a transition to the state B. So as far as the symbol A is concerned, there is no further partitioning possible. But now we will check for the another input symbol B. From A, there is a transition to C on B. From B, there is a transition to D on B. From C, there is a transition to C itself on B. And from B, there is a transition to E on the input symbol B. And therefore, what we can do is that we will separate out the states B, and we will separate out the states A, C, and D. And therefore, we will have a new partition where the PyNew will consist of the first group where we will have the states A, C, D. Then there will be a state B, and then there will be a state E. Now, when we compare this PyNew with the old Py, then one can easily observe that the PyNew and Py are not same. And therefore, what we can do is that we will again create the new partition. Now, if you try to further partition this pi new, then you can easily observe that B and E cannot be further partitioned, but ACD, it is possible that you can further partition. So as far as the input symbol B is concerned, one can easily observe that A has a transition to C and C has a transition to C itself on the input symbol B, and D has a transition to E on the input symbol B, and therefore we can say that it is possible that we can further partition A, C in one group and D can be separated in another group, and therefore we can have a subgroups AC, B, D and E. Now again, when you compare this new partition with the old partition, then you will observe that both are not same, and therefore you can again go on trying the further partition. But now one can easily observe that no further partitioning is possible, and therefore this will be the final states of the DFA D dash. Now what we have to do is that we have to select one representative state from each group. Now, as far as the groups B, D, and E are concerned, we have only one state. Therefore, we need to select B, D, and E. And from the first group, there are two states, A and C. And therefore, we will select one representative. Say, for example, we will select the representative A from the first group. So now we will have a transition table for the optimized DFA where the states are A, B, D, and E. For the input symbol A, there is a transition from A to B, and for rest of the states also, that there is a transition to the state B on the input symbol A. But as far as B is concerned, you will find that A will have a transition to A, B will have a transition to B, D will have a transition to A, and E will have transition to A. And therefore, we can now draw the optimized DFA diagram where we can represent the state A as 0, the state B as 1, the state D as 2, and the state E as the number 3. And therefore, one can easily observe that from 0, there is a transition to 1 on A. Then on B, there is a transition to A itself. Now from 1, there is a transition to 1 itself on A, but there is a transition to 2 on the input symbol B. From 2, there is a transition to 1 on the input symbol A, and there is a transition to the state 3 on the input symbol B. From 3, there is a transition to 1 on the input symbol A, and there is a transition to the state 0 on the input symbol B. Now one can easily observe that this state will be the final state of the DFA and the 0 state will be the starting state of the DFA. So here we observe that initially the DFA that was given to us was consisting of 5 states, but now we have reduced the number of the states to the DFA to 4. That is, we have reduced one state from the DFA. So the transition diagram is now optimized, and it is possible that you can write the appropriate C program for such transition diagram. Now let us see how to write a C program for this transition diagram. Now initially we will include the corresponding header files that are required in the program, and then we will assume one variable, call it as a DFA. So this variable will tell the number associated the string end in which the state. So initially we will assume that this DFA variable is equal to 0. Then we will write a function, and it is the function for the starting state of the DFA, and therefore the name of the function is start. And initially we will accept the character C as an argument. Now we will check if the character is A, then we know that from the start state, we will go to the state 1 on the input symbol A, and therefore we will make this variable DFA equal to 1. Else, if the character is B, then we will remain in the same state. That is, the DFA will be equal to 0. And if there is any another character, then in that case, we will use the DFA is equal to -1, and it will indicate that the input symbol is an invalid symbol. Now, similarly, we can write the function for the first state of the DFA, that is state 1. We will read the character as an argument. If the character is A, then we will remain in the state 1. If the character is B, then we will go to the state 2, and therefore we have written the statement DFA is equal to 2. Else otherwise, if there is any another character, then we will make it as an invalid symbol, and therefore the DFA will be equal to -1. Similarly, we can write the function for the second state of the DFA, state 2, where we will accept the character as an argument. If the character is B, then we will go to the state 3. If the character is A, then we will go to the state 1, that is DFA is equal to 1. Else otherwise, we will make this DFA variable equal to -1. So one can easily observe that we are writing the functions in the same fashion as per the diagram of the DFA. Now similarly, we can write the function for the third state of the DFA where the character is being accepted as an argument. If it is B, then we will go to the state 0, therefore DFA is equal to 0. If it is A, then we will go to the state 1, that is DFA is equal to 1. Else otherwise, DFA is set to -1 for the invalid symbol. Then finally, we will write the function is accepted, where we will initially determine the length of the string, and we will set the variable I. Initially, value of I will be equal to 0. As long as I is less than length, then we will do the following statements. So initially we will check if DFA is equal to 0, then we will call the function start. If DFA is equal to 1, then we will call the function state1. If DFA is equal to 2, then we will call the function state2. If DFA is equal to 3, then we will call the function state3. Else we will return 0. Similarly, if DFA is equal to 3, it means that we are in the final state, and therefore we will return 1. Otherwise, we will return 0. Now in the main function, we will initially accept the string. Suppose our string is A, BB, A, BB. Now we will check whether this string is accepted or not to be accepted. So we will call this function is accepted, and we will pass the string. So if the string belongs to the grammar, then you will find that the message will be printed that it is accepted. And if it is not, then the message will be printed not accepted. Finally, we will return 0 to our main function. Now, as we know that this string, which is being given as a sample string, this string exactly follows the grammar, because at the end we are having ABB, because as per our regular expression, there can be any sequence of A or B followed by ABB, and therefore we are expecting the result to be accepted. So when you type this program and when you execute this program by using any online C++ compiler, then you will find that the message will be printed that the string is accepted. If you enter any other string which do not follow the pattern, then you will get the message that not accepted. Thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood how to optimize the DFA and how to write an appropriate C program for the optimized DFA. Thank you all for viewing the session.